without having so-called facilities that I am going to deliver my sermon or discussion or discourse to each and every one of you with the blessings of the Noble Triple J. I also must thanks to the Dr. Manori for inviting me, not just inviting, she's chasing me for several times to organize this talk. I really like her invitation and the way that she put on me into this trouble. Significance of or relevance of Buddhist education in modern society or modern world. Today is the 9th July of 2022. We all are experiencing is how relevance of the Buddhist education in our society. Absolutely appropriate day, appropriate time. Today, the 9th July, is not that much Buddhist education is prevailing in our society. Even though the many Buddhists are surrounding with un-Buddhist education in modern society. In that realm, in that respect, that we are trying to establish certain idea which we should have. In about a year ago, so I wrote an article to the Journal of Buddha Dhamma into Singapore. They published in their article. It's a little similar to this topic. They asked me to write an article about the relevance of Buddhist education in Singapore society. So the Singapore society and Sri Lanka society and entire world, these are three aspects. When we are thinking about the modern society or modern world, so we need to analyze it very deeply. The modern society. So we have to go with the modern society. What is that the modern society is? Outline of the modern society. I think you all can see that the slides, or the frame over there. What is modern society or modern world? What is Buddhist education? What is the significance of Buddhist education in modern society or Buddhist world? This is the area that we are dividing our topic. So when we say about the modern society or modern world, everyone will think that where it started, what are the characteristics of the modern society, and how we are in modern society with the knowledge or without our knowledge. We need to go real understanding about the modern society. So if we do not know about the real aspect of the modern world or modern society, we can't find how our teachings of the Buddha or Buddhist education will be relevant. What is modern society? The modern society living in the current time but more commonly understood, modern society, it is equal to the industrial society. Modernity can be associated with the rise of industrialism. This is the period. Industrialism encompasses the economic, social, political, and cultural relevance. There are 4 words over there: economic, social, political, and culture. And so with the rise of industrialism, also came change in the human condition. Now, these educated listeners, you should also recall about pre-modern society or modern world and modern society or modern world. What is the difference between that? The Buddha lived in 6th century BC. You all know the Buddha lived in India, not in Sri Lanka. The Buddha delivered his first sermon in India just after a few days of time. We all are celebrating the first sermon of the Buddha. Again and again, for last over 2000 years of the time, my dear listeners, how many times we recall the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or turning of the wheel of the Dhamma, the first sermon of the Buddha, how many times we recall. In fact, the listeners are, maybe they are 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, or 50 years. According to your own age, every year you celebrated month of Asala, the full moon day, and the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Do you understand what is it, or do you know what is it, or are you just reciting like Idang ko panabhikkave dukkham arya saccang jatipi dukkha jarapi dukkha vyadipi dukkho maranam dukkham piyehi vipayogo dukkho, so on, just Pali language, stanzas, all the sutras, top to bottom. Even in our temple also they are doing it same. In coming 3 months of the time that the every upasakas and even the study monks also will recite this Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta for 3 months, every evening. But that Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta delivered in Buddha, not in modern society. That one what has to understand. When we are talking about the modern society, so some 2600 years ago, when the Buddha delivered Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta or other suttas, that was not a modern society. We call it as old society, or some other names we can say, to understand about the previous lives or the society. How many of you were in that society? Can you remember? Or anyone knows that some 2600 years ago, where the Buddha delivered his first sermon at the Sarnath Isipatana, were you there to listen it? Or later that Kondanya Vappapadya Mahana Masaji, the great 5 disciples, when they embraced the teachings of the Buddha and delivered these things, Charata Bhikkhave Charikam Bahujana Hitaya Bahujana Sukhaya, and were you listening? Perhaps you were there and you listening. Still we are listening. In the time to come also we will listen it. But again and again we are trying to establish one philosophy, one theory, how relevant the teachings of the Buddha with the modern society. How significant the teachings of the Buddha with the modern society or modern world. So, in order to understand this particular topic, as I said earlier, we should have a clear picture, clear mind about the modern society. I put in the screen that the 4 words over there, the industrialism encompasses the economic, social, political, and cultural. These four grounds are there where you belong, I belongs, all the monks are belongs, all the nuns are belongs, all the upasikas are belongs, whether they are educated or not educated, whether they are in this country or in another country, but we all are belongs to this modern industrialism through the economic, social, political, and cultural relevance. We try to understand the significance of the teachings of the Buddha with this economical affairs, with the social affairs, with the political affairs, with the cultural changing. If you look at that again and again, how we are trying to establish a good relationship with the teachings of the Buddha with the economy. Now you understand. Now Sri Lankans understand in the present scenario or present circumstances, the economy, how bad our economy, and how the teachings of the Buddha can be answered to our economy. Very simple to understand with the practical knowledge. Now these days, for last few months, we have a practical knowledge about our economy. And now we are slowly understanding what Buddha said about it. So in the modern society or modern world, actually, they were not establishing a good relationship between the economy and the teachings of the Buddha. Maybe 1,000 writers, 1,000 scholars who have written so many things about it. Maybe many people delivered many sermons about the economy and the Buddha or the Buddha's teachings. This educated audience, can you say that how many of governments or how many people, they really follow that, the economical theories of the teachings of the Buddha with their lives? I can't say. I think it is not a single, nobody. Therefore, these are all just theories. We try to do our level best, how that the significance or relevance of the Buddha's educations or Buddhist education with the modern society without having a practical aspect or practical effort. But fortunately or unfortunately, we Sri Lankans are facing that problem. The problem is that economy, how it comes to the our life, and that our ancestors, how they were balanced the economy. Everyone will try to have a big competition in our economy. That's the biggest problem with us. But Buddhist education always guided us that not to have that much competition within yourself or with others. We never listen about it. We never listen about it. We would try to have a big competition with the races, with the country, with the war races, with the weapon races, or many areas that they try to establish the superiority, where the Buddha rejected that idea. We delivered this message. This is not the first time. Again, we are reminding it. But we are eventually rejecting the ideology of the competition. Due to this competition between you and me, we try to be superior of economy in the country-wise or household-wise. We never satisfied ourselves, whereas the Buddha taught us to be satisfied with our own requirements. But we are not satisfied. Again and again, we need to have more and more, not only just for the household life, in the family life, or the village life, or the country life. Entire world is like that. Even then the temples also like that, unfortunately. Temples are also try to be superior. So my temple is so big, so I want to be a big temple. For what? That's the way that how we are knowingly or unknowingly rejecting and dejecting the teachings of the Buddha or Buddhist education. In social aspect, in social and political aspect also, what Buddha was talking to us. In the modern society, they govern us socially, politically, very much badly. Everyone knows about the Dasa Raja Dharma, the 10 royal points. These 10 royal points, Dasa Raja Dharma, which government is having that 10 royal points, Dasa Raja Dharma? But when the Asala comes, the first sermon comes, we are remembering. When we are thinking about the Lichavi, we are remembering. When we are thinking about the Ajasattva, we are remembering. When we have a big conference, we are remembering. When we have a discussion, we are remembering, but nobody is following. No government is following. Or the Sri Lankan government is following, or Indian government is following, or any other government is following Dasa Raja Dharma in this entire world. No, not a single government. Not even single government. I can't say single organization whether they are following or not. This is also to be analyzed, so that the relevance of the teachings of the Buddha or Buddhist education into our life, into our society, social wise and political wise, it's very, very important thing. But we are not having sufficient guideline to undergo with this kind of theories. You know about the Dasa Raja Dharma. If someone does not know, I can briefly enlighten you about it, which I wrote. That's a liberty, generosity or charity, the dana, the morality, the sila, the chaga, the practice of generosity without selfishness, honesty and integrity, and kindness of gentleness, and restraint of sense and austerity in habits of self-controlling, rupa, non-hatred, akkoda, non-violence, avihimsa, patience and tolerance, shanti, non-opposition and non-enmity, avirodha. So which government or which society is running like that? But we are talking about Dasa Raja Dharma. We try to find out the significance of the teachings of the Buddha or Buddhist education. We try to find out the relevance of the teachings of the Buddha in the modern world. But when we come to the point, we are just going away. That's the way of the social and political and cultural relevance. That is another aspect. Where the modern society is so much, we divided in that, the cultural wise. We divided that in the cultural wise, the Buddhist culture, Hindu culture, Islam culture, Christian culture, Catholic culture, Jain culture, Chinese culture, Japanese culture, Korean culture, American culture, so on. culturally we all are divided. Whereas what the Buddha say about it? Buddha said that you all are reciting every day. We all are reciting every day, Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta. May all the beings be well and happy. May all the beings be well and happy. So that we are reciting every time that all the beings be well and happy. Just at least we are reciting it. We try to radiate our purified thoughts to each and everyone. That is the relevance of the Buddha's teaching. We try to do it. But we are divided, very much divided in cultural wise. When we are divided in cultural wise, how the modern society is, what is the pattern of the modern society? The pattern of how the condition of the modern world is burning, burning, burning. As long as we are dividing, definitely we will burn, and there won't be any relevance of the teachings of the Buddha. There won't be any significance of the teachings of the Buddha. If we try to give a message to that society, the society will reject. No, we won't listen to you. We want to listen to the modern society. We want to listen to our own cultural heritage or our own culture. This culture, again, we Buddhist people created it another way, that Buddhist culture. That is also a way of the thing, that Buddhist culture. So look at the old society, where the Buddha lived, or some eras later. In the old society, you won't find that much cultural society or the Buddhist culture. Now we gave a prominent place to the Buddhist culture rather the teachings of the Buddha. We gave a prominent place to the Buddhist culture. No doubt, the Buddhist culture is an umbrella. It's like an umbrella. Under that, the teachings of the Buddha is existing. That's what we can see over here. In the surrounding Buddhist countries, so we may call the Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country, Thailand is a Buddhist country, India also into some extent into Buddhist country, Burma, Myanmar is a Buddhist country, Laos, also, some other countries, in the Maha and Buddhist countries, they all developed the Buddhist culture. The Buddhist culture is like a vehicle to bring the teachings of the Buddha to the society. However, they gave the prominent place to that Buddhist culture. So when we are giving the prominent place to the Buddhist culture, eventually we are developing a big barrier, big hindrances, whereas that the other people cannot come and see the teachings of the Buddha because of the cultural aspect. There are thousands of examples for that. Before I give any example, that I want to remind and recall to you that when Buddha was existing there in India, Buddha never thought that, so where is the Buddhist people are living. The Buddha delivered his first sermon at Sarnath, Isipatana. Later, Buddha traveled in one village to another village. When Buddha was traveling, Buddha never thought that where the Buddhist people are living. Buddha never thought that the Buddhist people are where, only to Buddhist people to deliver the teachings of the Buddha. So there were practically no Buddhist people. Even if somebody examine that the entire Tripitaka, you won't find the word of the Buddhist, Buddha. There is no such a word in entire Tripitaka. You will find that the fourfold society. What is that? The fourfold society: Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika. There is no such a word Bauddha bhikkhuni or Buddhist bhikkhu or Buddhist bhikkhuni or Buddhist upasaka or Buddhist upasika. There are no such discrimination or pattern over there. So we can't find that any distinguished words over there, but collectively it mentioned fourfold society. Fourfold society, bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika. So when the Buddha traveled one village to another village, naturally Buddha met so many innocent people. They were not Buddhist. They just followed the teachings of the Buddha without becoming a Buddhist. That is the very important point. Many people follow the teachings of the Buddha even in the modern world without becoming a Buddhist. That can be followed. One can follow the teachings of the Buddha without being labelized as a Buddhist. That is the way that in the cultural wise, in the modern society, we are divided in many ways. Therefore, other cultural people or other cultural aspects, where those people are following different cultures, they may not able to enter to this Buddhist culture, or they may not be able to see the teachings of the Buddha. Due to this cultural problem or cultural barricade. For example, suppose that another religious person, according to your words, non-Buddhist, not a Buddhist, but non-Buddhist person. If they enter to any Buddhist temple, maybe in Sri Lanka, you will make a big guideline for him. You have to leave your shoes. You have to remove your hat. You have to remove this one. You have to do this one. You have to do these things and that thing. You can't sit on a chair. You have to sit on floor. You have to put your hand in like that, or that man will be ran away. He won't come again. He will run away. Oh, this is Buddhism. Oh, Buddhism is okay. Oh, Buddhism is, oh, I have to remove my shoes. Oh, Buddhism is, I have to remove my hat. Oh, Buddhism is, I have to put hand like this. Oh, Buddhism is, oh, this is Buddhism. Oh, Buddhism is like that. I can't follow the Buddhism. Oh, that person will never think to follow the teachings of the Buddha. Due to this cultural problem. You see, sometime in the Western society, in the Western world people, so they mean the cold country. It is not like Sri Lanka or hot weather. They may want to use their shoes in the shrines, go to inside the shrines. We are not just encouraging you to do so. You will be a big problem in Sri Lanka. But we allow those people to, okay, if you have a problem to remove the shoes, you may come with the shoes, doesn't matter. Just you see the Buddha's statue over there. If you want to worship him, you can worship him like that. We demonstrate them that how to worship. So if you're comfortable, you can sit over here. Sometimes they may ask questions, can I sit on the chair? Okay, you sit on the chair. As long as you are comfortable, you sit on there, try to practice. If we try to introduce the culture before the teachings of the Buddha, then nobody will think about the teachings of the Buddha. They may promote the culture, but not the teachings of the Buddha. We have to be very careful when the modern society, the modern world, when we are talking about the teachings of the Buddha or the Buddhist education, how we are going to present to them. We have a big question on always people are asking us why young people are not that much coming to the temples in Sri Lanka or some other, even mainly Sri Lanka. Young people, You won't find in Sri Lankan temples. In the many Sri Lankan temples, we'll find like Dr. Manori like old people, or that other Anoja like old people. Some other like old people you can find in the many temples. So they may have the upasika. When we say the upasika, they have a word. Upasika, it means they are above 60. Above 60. How that people are so poor about their knowledge. Once we declare the upasika, definitely they will have an age also about it. Upasika doesn't have any age. Even the age of 10 also can be a upasika. Age of 20 also can be a upasika, 30, 40, 50, 60. But in the modern society, particularly in Sri Lanka, when you say, oh, upasaka, upasika, it means over 60 people. Below 60 people, if we say upasika, they never thought they won't come to the temple. Oh, Hamdru, call me upasika. Am I upasika? I'm not a upasika. I'm just 40, just even not 40. How come Hamdru call me upasika? Oh, that is the way that how we are thinking about that age barrier. So we have to remove it. It all comes with our culture. Therefore, this modern world and modern society, this industrialism, I don't want to explain too details about industrialism. You, me, now we are on Zoom, we are talking that the benefit of the industrialism, that's the benefit of the rise of our science knowledge, the value. Of course, we have a very good benefit out of it, but it is very difficult to say that good benefit is what is the percentage of that, what is the harmful benefit or bad benefit is what is the percentage of that of the industrialism. That one has to have a research on the another topic about it. So in this industrialism, as I mentioned, economically, socially, politically, and culturally, we are living in somewhere, and there are no any relevance in, we are not trying to find out any relevance of the teachings of the Buddha into that our present situations. We know, but we have a good knowledge about it, but we are not practically applying. Again, I am, before I go to the another topic, I must tell you, when we are talking about the economy, in Sri Lankans, we all are facing that tremendous economical problem. Only answer is the teachings of the Buddha. The no political answer for it. Only answer is the teachings of the Buddha. What Buddha say about it? The Buddha say about the economy is what? That, so when we are earning and when we are spending, so we need to have a proper way to do so, not much greediness or craving that we should have. But unfortunately, as you all know that the one famous saying is there, one can fulfill the one's needy, but one cannot fulfill the one's own greedy. There's two different things. Our need is one thing, our greediness is another thing. We can fulfill our needy, what are the requirements for ourselves, but we cannot fulfill our greediness. No way. Whether anybody comes to the power, but nobody can fulfill or nobody can give a good answer to our greediness, but our need. You can find out the good examples these days in the society. So I'm just laughing when I see it, how far that people have greedy. And some places are having diesel, petrol, gasolines, more than a shed. They collected and kept over there and selling. The greediness is behind it. Greediness is the behind this, not the need. This is just for the present examples. Therefore, that economically, if we want to relate the teachings of the Buddha into the present economical conditions, definitely we have to apply those theories into our life. Let us move forward. That the other than the what is a Buddhist society, that you all know that this history can be characterized in many ways. Just reading it, I'm not going to elaborate all those points. The rise of the nation states, that's a colonialism, industrialism, it's a capitalism, and also democracy, urbanization, mass literacy, increased role of the science and technology, mass media. This all modern society's characteristics, all modern world characteristics. Whereas when the Buddha was living in 2,600 years ago, these points were not there, but Buddha delivered his sermons. Now we are trying to find that the relevance of those teachings in this character society. You see that the colonialism, industrialization, capitalism, democracy, urbanization, mass literacy, media, many things are collective together. We try to find out this mess over here, and we try to find the relevance or significance of the teachings of the Buddha or Buddhist education. We can find the answer, of course, but this is the way of our societies being forward. Next. And so you all find out some other words also for the modern society. These are again that the modern society, how it goes like that. Among them, that I like that the individualism and nationalism. This is the 2 points. Individualism, this is the more prominent thing in the society. And the nationalism, that is the much sale word. Sale word means the much important word for the political people, the nationalism. And individualism is the word that in this society is being governed very much. More people are self-oriented. Many people are self-oriented. Of course, if they are self-oriented for the Nibbana, for their enlightenment, that is well and good. They are self-oriented to have an enlightenment. They are self-oriented for their own knowledge. That's good. But this individualism, or that the self-oriented, is too much in this society. In the modern societies, been damaged. You can find in the society, you all have the children. And you are also children, but your children, and when you were at the children, how much is different. Now our children, they don't like to maybe share anything, little things with others. Because of this tuition, I must tell it exactly. This tuition in this our society. In modern Sri Lanka, the biggest problem, if I will be in the power of this country, the first and foremost thing, I will prohibit an entire tuition system in Sri Lanka. That is the biggest problem of this country. That is because of this individualism. And that society is too much damaged on it. We try to find out the significance of the teachings of the Buddha or relevance of the teachings of the Buddha into that. Where the people, our children, mind is being corrupted. Where our children or their mind is being so much damaged due to this competition of this education and this tuition. Tuition masters, if they are listening to me, don't angry with me. You are polluting, you damage entire Sri Lanka. Why you damage? Because of this tuition, the corruption has come to our society too much. Corruption. To give one tuition to the one own child, maybe one family is spending 20,000-25,000 per month. Maybe if they are A-level students, how they are going to earn those money? Definitely, the parents has to loot the money from their jobs, some from somewhere. So therefore, this tuition is giving a lot of burdens to every family of Sri Lanka. This is individualism. And you try to find out the relevance of the Buddhist education to that family. Can you? Then we have to match it. How we are going to match it? No need to have any tuition in any society. Any schools are enough. The teachers are enough. They can teach. And this individualism is too much. Not only tuition. Other things, my dear doctors are also listening to me. But the government hospitals are in Sri Lanka in the modern society. So when the government hospitals are there, the many doctors are serving for them. But unfortunately, our society is suffering due to this doctor's problem. That is also individualism. I don't want to explain many things about it, but you know what I'm going to say about it. In the nationalism, that is also another aspect of our society. We try to promote nationalism. Sinhala people try to promote Sinhala nationalism. Tamil people try to promote Tamil nationalism. Islam people try to promote their Islam or Muslim nationalism. And others are trying to promote. That is a big competition in the society. We try to find out how relevance of the teachings of the Buddha in the society. Once you are too much nationalism, the teachings of the Buddha will not be existed there. Cannot. You can't say sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitattha. Then you will say only the Buddhist people be well and happy. Because you are belongs to that nationalism, that community. And so you can't really spread your loving kindness and compassionate thoughts to each and everyone. Society is being divided. Whereas Buddha always encouraged us as a unity. Sukha Sangha Samaggi. Always try to develop the unity of the society. Unity of the society. Treat each other. We always talking about the metta, mudita, metta, karuna, mudita, upekha, satara brahma viharana. So for that qualities, so how we are going to introduce and apply these qualities in the society where our nationalism is too much promote, too much is there, then our metta, karuna, mudita, upekha will disappear. We can't do many more things. Likewise, in the modern society or modern world is too much handicap, having too much problems. Therefore, when we try to find out the link between our teachings and the modern society's pattern is very difficult, very difficult. Only some people, some extent, it can be, we can find out a reasonable answer for it. And the next point is that so I mentioned about the conditions of modernity. The conditions of modernity, conditions of the modern self. So these things are there, but many more things are desire aspects. They try to develop, there are more and more desire. The modern society guided us to develop our desire, nothing else. So dear important listeners, you can very well examine entire society. So which society, which area encouraging you to diminish to reduce your desire, your craving, your greediness. Whereas in our society, always promoting big multi-companies, big industrials, many people, they try to exploit your own desire. They are exploiting. They are exploiting your desire. They are exploiting your greediness. Therefore, that the society is in one area where they are rejecting the teachings of the Buddha at all the time. Next point. The Buddhist education. Let us go through with it before our time conclude. So what is Buddhist education is? So doing all the good, that is Buddhist education. Not doing all the evils, that is Buddhist education. And purifying your mind is called the teachings of the Buddha. You all know that the particular statement, doing all good, not doing all the evils, purifying your own mind. And so when Buddha say about it, doing good, what is the good? The good means our action. Our action, due to our action, if somebody is happy, due to my action, myself I am happy. Due to my actions, you and me both are happy. That is a good action. Good action doesn't have any religion. Remember it. You can't say good action belongs to Buddhism or good action belongs to particular religion. There is no religion with the good action. Action is action. What is that action? So when we are doing an action through our mind, through our words, through our body, any actions, if it is produced good for others, good for myself, good for you and me both, that action is good action. And any actions, if it is produced a bad, evil for others, bad for myself, and bad for you and me, that is a bad actions, you know it. Purifying your mind to be purified. You have been listening in sermons of the Buddha, many sermons. I saw in this calendar also that this month also 4 sermons. And prior to that, many sermons, how to purify your mind. And have you ever purified your mind? Did you? How far? That is to be examined. Sincerely examine, that you need to examine yourself, how far I able to purify my mind. I'm not going to elaborate about it, but when we think about the Buddhist education based on that, the ultimate concerns and the means of the transformation. We have to transform from ourselves. Transform from the bad to good, from the impure to pure. So that we have to transform. That is the Buddhist education. Buddhist education always promote you and to me, to entire world, to delete evils, and Buddhist education is promoting to do the good action. That is the basis of the Buddhist education in any way. The role of Buddhist education is to serve all the subjects, and especially to bring people to overcome suffering and improve morality by means of precepts, Eightfold Path, meditations that you know. Today just observe Ajiva Tangama Sila, 8 precepts. Why you observe 8 precepts in Ajivastamaka Sila? that among that 8 precepts, 4 precepts are concerned with your words. You know it that the words, how it is important to our life. So Buddhist education is again based on our words. Our words are so important. So you are not Parusavacha, you are not Pisunavacha, you are not Samprapalapa, you are not Musavada. If somebody out of Musavada, out of Samprapalapa, out of Pisunavacha, so that one can be determined oneself, oh, I am on the way to Buddhist education. Buddhist education is very much guided through our words. Buddhist education very much guided through to purify our mind. Buddhist education very much guided through to self-control. These are the very basic things. If somebody think about the Buddhist education mean the entire Tripitaka, or from Digha Nikaya to Majjhima Nikaya to Anguttara Nikaya, all the sutras and this sutras and that sutras, many sutras are there. But before we are reading or studying or having a knowledge about it, this basis of the Buddhist educations need to be guided to our life, taken to our life. That is necessary. Buddhist education, therefore, can be understood as a moral education in another way. The moral education. Moral education is a subject in the Western world also. In some other countries also, they are promoting the moral education. How to develop the morality. Morality doesn't belong to any religion. Nobody can think that the moral education belongs to Buddhist or the Buddha's teaching. Morality, our morality doesn't belong to any religion. So the good qualities, inherent good qualities, our metta, karuna, mudita, upekha, loving kindness, compassion, the sympathetic joy, the equanimity, or many other qualities, doesn't belong to any religion. So our inherent qualities need to be developed in day and day. That is the way that how we able to exist in this society. Next. What does Buddhist education teach? You know it very well. The core of the Buddha's teachings contain 3 major points: discipline, meditation, and wisdom. So without discipline, no Buddhist education. And once we are disciplined, it's a method. Then you will come to the meditation. That's a process. That you will have a deeper aspect of the Buddhist education. The final goal. The goal is wisdom. You all are listening and teaching and examine and make a research mainly on this basis. We need to have a discipline method. We need to have a meditation. Meditation, you know it very well. You all are doing. The last talks also, I heard that based on meditation, walking meditation, and wisdom of Panya, goal, that's the reality. The achieving to our reality. The one can't achieve to the reality or to take the reality if one does not belong to that particular framework of the discipline. Country needs to have a discipline. World needs to have a discipline. In the modern society, my dear friends, is out of discipline. Please think that the discipline is not that the going through a line. And once you go to the Japan or Singapore or some other countries, you will find that, oh, these people are so disciplined. They are going in a line. They are talking in very polite way. That is not the discipline. Discipline comes through the inner bottom of your heart and mind. That discipline should come with the very much guided with the teachings of the Buddha. Without having sort of jealousy, without having any craving. Craving, we can't neglect it. You may have a craving, but at least you may try to little bit diminish of this craving, without having grudge, without having that kind of anger or that kind of negative qualities, then the disciplinary the system will be developed within yourself. So in the entire world, having these weaknesses and qualities, bad qualities, so many people are jealousy on each other. I don't think the servants of the Buddha, the followers, the listeners, they may have that much. They don't have, I think, the jealousy. But the people, they have jealousy. Very, very higher level of jealousy. Their percentage is too much high. The jealousy in this world. And they are craving, and they are anger, then they are grasping, then they are ill will, and retaliation. This all are in very advanced level. This because of this modern education and the modern society's character, as I mentioned. But when we are thinking about the discipline, according to the teachings of the Buddha, we need to develop the sila within ourselves, then the discipline comes first. Once we are disciplined very much, then you may go with your meditation. So that the meditation, your process, it will go and you will be able to reach to your goal as wisdom or prajna. Aim of the Buddhist education is obtaining spiritual, emotional, and intellectual freedom. That is important thing. They are obtaining spiritual, emotional, and intellectual freedom. Buddhist education teaches individuals how to be free from mystical and dogmatic thinking. You all know the Kalama Sutta, what Buddha talk about the Kalama. Ma anusavena ma paramparaya, ma itikiraya, ma pitaka sampadhanena, ma takka hetu, ma naya hetu, like that, the Kalama Sutta, the 10 points. The one has to be free from mystical and dogmatic thinking. As long as we are in mystical and dogmatic thinking, there is no the teachings of the Buddha or Buddhist education. So therefore, just I'm going to little bit wipe out my, conclude my talk over here. There are many things to be discussed. And okay, please hold it. The first one, go to the first one. So that the what we have to do is here, in reality, if we are summarizing, modern world is, and the teachings of the Buddha, the significance of the relevance of the Buddha, that is not balance each other. The modern society is having too many qualities where they are rejecting the teachings of the Buddha. They are rejecting. They are not accepting. It has a big contradiction each other. This contradiction should be removed. When we are removing that contradiction, then only the significance or the relevance of the teachings of the Buddha will be with our society, that the society will be prosper. Society will be very much guided. So this is my humble submissions to each and every one of you. Without seeing one or two, I delivered seeing only just my computer and hope that you listen it, you got something, and if it is listen and got something, that will be benefited to our society. Finally, I again tribute and giving my big thanks to the organizing this sermon lecture, to the servants of the Buddha, the heading by all your office bearers, Dr. Manori, Dr. Anoja, or any other office bearers. May everyone be well and happy by the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. I also must give a big thanks to my one of the students, two students mainly. One is from Canada, Senuri Mahagamage. She was the one that helped me to organize this all sort of slides and all sort of things for me to talk about. She make a big research on it. and also the 1 hour Dhamma school teacher, and Kavind. He was helping me to have this electronic gadgets, all sort of things to be correctly be done. So I thanks for both of them also doing wonderful job in dark. We are in dark here. In another few minutes of the time, only the light will come. Then we will be enlightened when the light comes. So that if any little questions are there, few minutes are there, not long questions. Long questions cannot be answered within when we are in dark. Light, simple questions. We can have a little chat, little dialogue with each other. I saw in the chat box there are a number of one Mr. Don D Silva. To everyone, raise few questions. So, Venerable Sir, what are the reasons why